two sides given to us, and they're asking for this angle. So up until this point, we've been given an angle and asked to solve for sides. Now we're trying to solve for an angle. The process is the same. What is the first step? Label based off of the angle they're asking you, right? So from there, what is side 4? Opposite. What is side 6? Hypotenuse. All right. What trig function involves opposite and hypotenuse? Sine. So we go sine of our unknown, a, because the angle always sits in with the trig function, equals opposite over hypotenuse. So 4/6. Are we okay with that? Okay. What's 4 divided by 6? I want to make that a decimal. Okay, 0.6 repeating. So I get sine of A is equal to 0.666666. Like you could do it forever. Or you could write 0.6 with a little dot over top of it, right? Remember that stuff? A line if it's like two numbers that are repeating, right? You just put a dot over top of this, one repeating. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right. What do I do? How do I solve for the angle? It now looks exactly like it's this question up here, right? We have sine of x, or a in this case, is equal to some ratio. So what do I do down here? Yes. So a is equal to, no, you can't. So you just hit 6 repeating. Press 6 like 38,000 times. Yep. 42 degrees. All right, peoples. 42 degrees. There you go. Now, so we know this is 42. Okay, this is not part of the question, but we're going to do it anyway. I'll do it in red. Can anybody tell me how to find this angle right there? Oh, Maddie, your hand like this is... Why do you do that? Yes. So all angles in a triangle, doesn't matter which triangle, add to 180 degrees. Okay? So if you know, if you're trying to find this one, we'll call it B. Okay? To find that, I just go 180 minus, what does this here mean? Little square there. That means 90, right? Minus that angle, minus the angle that we just calculated. Gives you, is it 48? There we go. So B is 48 degrees. So if you know two angles in a triangle, you can always calculate the other one just by going 180 minus those two angles. All right? Because every triangle adds to 180 degrees. Okay, let's do C. We don't need to do B. Okay. You did B? Did you? I don't know. 58. All right, C. First step, peoples. Label it based off of the angle we're given. So 21 is the opposite. What's 29? And 20 is? Okay. Now, they've given us all the sides. So we have choices, right? Because we know opposite, we know hypotenuse, we know adjacent, we can use any of the trig functions we want. Okay? So let's do compiler to the left. You're going to do sine. Okay? So everybody on this side, I want you to use sine. No. From this one to Laney, sorry. Laney is doing, what do you want, cosine or tan? Cosine. So you're all doing cosine, and then everybody else? Oh, Maddie. You guys are doing tan. So you're doing cosine. So I will do all of them. What do they all equal? If you have all three sides, you can do any trig function you want. Okay? They will all give you the same answer, as long as you do it properly. All right? But it doesn't matter. Okay? So if I know C is 46, what is the other angle? Call it B. What's B? $44. So I'll just say B is equal to 44. 180 minus 90 minus 46 gives you 44. Okay? Is that okay? Same process, except the only difference is now we just have to do this little inverse called an inverse, or an arc sine is the actual proper name of it, or arc cosine or arc tan. Don't worry about that. That's calculus. You just do this little function to find the angle. All right, let's do questions. So 1, 2, and 3. Your homework, you should do all of them for practice. Right now, pick one from each one. Okay? So number 1, 2, and 3. One from each, but you should do all of them when you go home as practice for your test. So 1, 2, and 3, just pick one. But I would like you, if you need more practice, to do them all. Okay? But again, I don't mark homework, so. All right, page 86. So, couple of terms that you need to be aware of. So, angle depression, angle of elevation. What does elevation mean? Yeah, basically you're looking up, right? Like you're elevating. Okay. Depression would be looking down. So, if we have a helicopter here flying, it's looking down at the ship. and they say, what is the angle of elevation? Is the ship looking up from the horizontal? Okay. Angle of elevation. If they say, what is the angle of depression from the helicopter down, the only trick here is it's always from the horizontal. Okay. So looking down, it's from the horizontal. These two angles, but oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Thank you. There we go. Depression, angle of depression. Thank you. The thing about these two angles is they are always the same. Okay. So if you know the angle of depression, you know the angle of elevation. And I don't know if you remember your geometry, but do you ever remember learning that if you have two parallel lines with a line going through it, this angle and that angle are the same? You've never heard that? Like, those two angles are the same, and this angle are the same. Jeez, go away. All right, now that's not important for this, right? All you need to remember is that the angle of depression, angle of elevation are the same. All right? So let's scroll down to the bottom here. We have a little mini word problem here. We have a tree that is 5.1 meters tall. So from here to here, 5.1 meters. And it casts a shadow that is 7.5 meters long. So its shadow is along the ground. 7.5 meters. Calculate the angle of elevation to the sun to the nearest tenth of a degree. So, okay, first of all, this is trigonometry. What shapes are we trying to make here? So where am I going to draw a line to make a triangle here? There you go. And draw one right. Hopefully you can draw a better straight line than I can. But there's our triangle. Where is the angle of elevation looking up? Right there, right? At the end of the shadow. And they're basically saying if you stood there and you looked up, what angle are you looking up at? I want to find that angle. So we'll just call it, I don't know, call it X. All right. Now it's just like the problems we just did. What do we do? Label. So what is 5.1? Opposite. There you go. Adjacent. What involves op and adjacent? Tan. Tan of X is equal to 5.1, 7.5. Divide 5.1 and 7.5 to get 0.68. And then do the second function tan or the inverse tan or the arctan if you want to be correct. What mode does your calculator always have to be in, people? D, a degree mode. 34.2. Word problems are exactly the same as what we've done, except the first step, instead of labeling a triangle, is drawing the picture, right? It's converting all the words into a proper picture, and then it's the same process. All right. Well, let's do one more. Flip the page, and then we will be done with this lesson. Oh, this is the classic. You're going to see my excellent drawing skills here. So the next page, page 87. The boat is 130 meters from the base of a cliff. The cliff is 80 meters high. So let's draw that. Are you ready for this? Here's the cliff, 80 meters. Boat which is going to be out here, is 130 meters. And here is the boat. You ready for the boat? It's got in a different color just so it stands out, so I can admire my drawing skills. Look at that. That is an awesome little boat, isn't it? You can draw a better boat if you want to. I don't think you can, though. I don't think that's possible. Pretty much Picasso right there. Okay. So we got that. Okay, we determine to the nearest degree the angle of depression. Okay, what are we trying to do? Like, what shape we always have to have? Triangles. We gotta draw a triangle. Where am I drawing my line? Yeah, from the top of the cliff down to the boat. Go to the bottom of the boat. Boom. There's our triangle. I want to know the angle of depression. But what did I say at the beginning about angle of depression and angle of elevation? They're the same. So if I can find this, which is the angle of elevation, I will know the angle of depression. Okay? And that will equal angle of depression. So let's find that. Let's call it Z, just because. All right, what do I do? First step, label. What sides do I have? Top and adjacent, which involves tan. That says a Z or a Z. 80 over 130. They want nearest degree. Is it 32? Because I get 31.59 blah. Do you know what the little wavy equal sign means? It equals 31.59. If you put a little wavy equal sign, we've rounded, so we just say it's approximately. Okay. That's not part of the test, but we're here, so thought I'd tell you. Okay. Draw a picture, label the picture, do exactly what we did before. Okay? Here's only give you one question. What question am I gonna use? Numbers 6 and 12. I'm giving you 2 questions, please.